interesting you talk about addiction. I just thought of there was a guy here in the UK named Alan Carr, and he wrote a book called The Easy Way to Stop Smoking. And I read it when I was smoking. And most people would think, you can't read a book and stop smoking. But I did, and it worked. And it worked for a lot of people. He's dead now. But now that I think about it, he was using your method. He would say that, now let's talk about exactly when you're having that cigarette and you're feeling great for having that cigarette. And he would break down all of the things that aren't great about that cigarette.
Yes.
All the bad things, reminding you of all those things. And over the course of chapter after chapter, it got to a point where you didn't even want to pick it up anymore.
That's it. Because your brain, instead of being blinded and seeing only the positives, which makes the impulse and the addiction, you now see both sides. And when you do, your brain doesn't have an impulse. It's got this. Anytime you see balance, the blood glucose and oxygen goes to the forebrain. The forebrain has nerve fibers down into the amygdala, nucleus accumbens and habenula, and it basically uses glutamate and GABA to regulate and moderate and dampen the impulses and instincts, which are the distractions in life, because addiction's a distraction. And we only get addicted when we're not fulfilling our highest values. When we fill our day with high priority action aspires, we have governance. I took people in Australia. There's Ashley Bynes is a lovely lady there that does fitness and training people and helps people with weight and stuff. And she did this all-day interview and filming that we did. And we took women that were overweight, and no matter what they did, they couldn't lose weight and they couldn't stay fit and da-da-da. We found out all of them had unconscious motives. All of them have unconscious motives. So I'll give an example. And this is a different one besides that one. This is a Universal Studios. Maybe 12 or 13 years ago, I was doing a reality TV show. They wanted me to transform 12 people's lives in 24 hours. So it's an all-nighter. 2 hours a person, a rape, a homeless person, a guy that lost his career, a suicide case, some really crazy stuff. And this lady comes in, and she's really overweight. I mean, she's giant. And she comes in, and she brings in 2 boxes of food to the filming area. He says, just in case anybody I was hungry, I just brought everybody some food. And nobody ate except her. See, more food while we were on the set than I eat in probably a week is phenomenal. And she says, you got to help me. You got to help me stop eating. I can't stop eating. I got to lose my weight. I got to do this. And I said, nobody will continue to do anything unless they get more advantage than disadvantage. You're getting more advantage out of doing it than disadvantage, and unconsciously. So I'm going to ask you a very simple question. What's the benefit you're getting out of keeping your weight? And she says, it's not, it's killing me. Look at me, it's doing this. I said, stop. Stop the racket, the facade, to cover up what's unconscious. What's the benefit you're getting out of that? There is no benefit, there is no benefit, there is no benefit. How can you say that? Look at it, it's unhealthy, it's this and that. Yeah, everybody's told you that. But you keep doing it. So the real you inside has got an unconscious motive. So what's the benefit you're getting out of it? I finally let her stop the ranting. She got thing. I said, I only got 2 hours with you. You want to waste your time? Let's get to work. I will help you if you answer these questions. She finally said, everyone in my family is large. If I'm not large, I don't feel like I'm part of my family. I said, great. We got one. What's another benefit getting out of it? My sister, who's 2 years older than me, used to push me around, bully me, and beat me up. She was jealous. I swear I would never be smaller than her because I would never want her to push me around again. So I'm always bigger than her. Good. 2. Keep going. She said, when I got to a certain age, about 19 or 20 years old, I went on this fasting extreme diet and lost 45 pounds. I started to get a little bit of a shape. At my size, 45 is not a big change, but a little bit of a shape. And a guy hit on me. I'd never been with a guy, never had a guy show interest in me. A guy hit on me and interest in me. And it was very quick to immediately want to kiss. And we made love that night. First time I ever made love. The next morning, he was gone, never to be seen again. 6.5 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. I'm Catholic. If I have a baby out of wedlock, I go to hell. If I have a baby with a man I don't want, I feel like I'm in hell. I couldn't make a decision. The most terrifying, most awful thing in my life. And I swear I never wanted to go through that again. So I never wanted to lose weight again because I associated it with the most painful experience of my life. She says, I'm on TV, and they set the set where from my breast up, I show. My bowling pin body is below. Nobody sees that. We've got the set where it shows just my hair and my face and my boobs. And says, every time I try to lose weight, my skin sags and I look saggy. So I constantly eat to make sure my skin, because people always acknowledge how great my skin is. It's so smooth and how thick and shiny my hair is. So I concentrate on that. But if I lose weight, I'm afraid I'll lose what I do have. I said, now we're getting to the truth of why you keep weight on. We went through and found 72 different things, or 75 things that were benefits. And she says, as long as these are there, unless I have a viable alternative way of getting these things met, I'm going to keep eating, aren't I? I said, now you've got the truth. So stop the ranting, and let's go and take each one of those benefits, and let's find a viable alternative way to get those benefits met. How can we be with your family without having to eat? What else do they do that could be family oriented? Well, they go to the movies. Can you go to the movies and not be there for dinner? Yes. Could you participate with the family in the dark? Yes. And we came up with viable alternative ways of doing this. And I didn't stop at 2 hours. I went ahead and worked with that lady just to help her out. And we spent a lot of hours. But what happened is we found viable alternative ways of getting the same benefits without using only food as a strategy. I also said, did you think how ingenious you are? You got 75 benefits by one action. That's pretty ingenious. So instead of beating yourself up, acknowledge that you found a way of getting what you wanted by just eating. So now let's come up with viable alternatives, because you have the power to change any one of those. So all of a sudden she looks and she finds some viable alternatives. And then we took those and linked those to her highest values, because anything linked to the highest values increases the probability of doing it spontaneously. And anything that's lower. So we then took the behavior of eating it and we lowered it on the value list. We started to associate the drawbacks. So if you associate the benefits, it goes up. If you associate the drawbacks, it goes down by Skinner conditioning. And we did the drawbacks of the eating after we did the benefits. Because if you do the drawbacks and shame somebody for doing something that unconsciously they feel they can't do, they get anxiety and they give you more. So you can't shame people to stop their addictions. But you can give them a viable alternative and show them an alternative and then devalue it, and then they'll go to the new thing. Mm-hmm. And then we went in there and we found out that there's never an addiction without a subdiction. So whenever you've got something you have to have, whatever the opposite of that is, you've got to get away from. So I found in there what is the pains that she's trying to avoid that's leading her to food, that food gave her the freedoms of. So we went through and I did the Demartini method on each of those pains and cleared those and saw how they were on the way, not in the way. And already that was changing her dietary pattern. She lost about 78 pounds in 1 year because she changed the way she perceived and she didn't have to use those unconscious motives anymore.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year is going to be too late.
Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm going to tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone. Also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline.
I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up.
If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you going to do? What's the choice that you're going to make?